Hello, love. Welcome into today's Pick a Card reading. I am so grateful and honored to be here with you today, love. Thank you so much for tuning in and joining me. Now, for today's Pick a Card readings, we are going to be tapping in to see what it is that you can expect to experience and be working through over the course of the next 3 months as we are shifting into a new season. So I'm actually filming this on the day of the solstice, so summer solstice if you're in the northern hemisphere, and winter solstice if you are in the southern hemisphere. All right, love. So if this is your first time tuning into a Pick a Card reading, how this works is I'm going to draw out 3 cards from this deck, 1, 2, and 3, and then you will intuitively choose which card is speaking most to your intuition, which one's calling out to you. And then once you decide which card you feel drawn to, I will have timestamps listed in the description box down below or on the chapters of this video, and you can click on the one that is in correspondence with the card that you selected, and it will take you directly to the beginning of your reading where you can tune in and receive the messages of guidance of what you need to know for what it is that you're experiencing over the course of the next 3 months. All right, love, so let's go ahead and get into it. Let's pick our piles so we can get into our readings today. So this deck that I'm using here is the Sacred Rebels Oracle by Alana Fairchild. All right, so let's see. I'm going to do things a little differently today. All right, so pile 1, I'm feeling the bottom, so we're going to go pile 1, pile 2, for some reason we're drawn from the bottom, pile 1, pile 2, and pile 3, and we're just doing 3 piles today to be in alignment with the 3 months that we're tuning into. All right, love, so these are our pile choices. If you prefer to choose before I reveal what's on the other side of the card, go ahead and choose now. All right, loves, and if you prefer to pick, maybe you need a little bit more clarification, a symbol, an image, a word for confirmation, we're going to unveil the other side of the card for you now. All right, so pile 1, you have 15 with big, bold vision. Big, bold vision for pile 1. All right, pile 2. You have 33 with Heaven Sent. Pile 2, 33 with Heaven Sent. All right, and pile 3, we have 14, Going Beyond Normal. 14, Going Beyond Normal. Now it's really interesting because each of these cards for our pile choices today are each showing a direct portrait, and not all the cards in this deck are like that. So I am feeling called to say, if you are drawn to more than one card, that is okay. There may be multiple messages of guidance for you. Maybe one pile will feel more in alignment with a specific aspect of your life, like career, and then maybe another pile that you're drawn to will be more connected to a different aspect of your life, such as your relationships. Okay, so if you're feeling drawn to more than one pile, that is okay. Just go with your intuition. Listen to the one that you feel most called to first. Listen to your intuition. If it's telling you that this pile's reading is going to be applied to a specific aspect of your life, the other pile that you're drawn to is going to be applied to a different aspect. And I feel that that information will definitely come up as we get more into the readings as well. Okay, so I just felt called to share that with you. You don't have to listen to more than one reading if your intuition's not guiding you to. I don't usually share that guidance, but it is coming through just because of the similarity of each of these cards having a front-facing direct portrait. All right. All right, love, so those are our pile choices for today. Go ahead and choose the card or pile that is most calling to you. And again, there will be timestamps in the description box down below for you to tap on, and it will portal you directly to the beginning of your reading, which is where I will meet you. See you there. Hello, loves. Welcome in to those of you who chose pile 1. If you chose pile 1, you were drawn to the card number 15 with big, bold vision. And this is a beautiful card with a lot of Egyptian symbology here. We've got the scarab beetle, we've got the honeybee, we have the flower of life, the makeup here. Very beautiful. Beautiful imagery here. Lots of golds, yellows, a little bit of green angel wings here. So big, bold vision. So let's set this to the side and we are going to draw your tarot cards just to get a little bit deeper insight on what it is that you can expect to be experienced and working through over the course of the next 3 months. All right, loves. Now, again, I am filming this on the day of the solstice, summer solstice if you are in the northern hemisphere, winter solstice if you're in the southern hemisphere. So the next 3 months is going to be July, August, and September. But if you are tuning in and watching this at a different time, that is perfectly okay. Just apply these messages of insight and guidance into whatever the next 3 months are for you when you're tuning into this. All right, so if you're tuning into it November, it's going to be November, December, January, all right, and so on and so forth. All right, so let's see what's going on. We are using the Tarot of Divine for these readings today. So let's see what does pile 1 need to know. What can they expect to experience over the course of the next 3 months, over this next season? So right away you have the 8 of Wands jumping out of the deck, and just it's very synchronistic that this is the 8 of Wands flying out of the deck, because the 8 of Wands represents that very quick, very fast moving energy. And then we have that big, bold vision there. So I definitely feel as though you're going to be receiving some type of divine download, divine insight, and inspiring idea that you are going to want to pursue with a sense of immediacy. You're going to want to pursue that as quick as you possibly can. All right, so let's see what else we have here. So let's make sure we can see these. So we also have the King of Swords. Yeah, so you're going to be on top of your game, receiving divine downloads, divine insight. We have 8 of Coins. All right, it may be a little bit challenging to pursue these ideas because of limits that you're placing on your sense of physical means. Okay, so maybe you don't have all the tools or resources that you need, or you have to get creative with finding ways to bring this idea or vision to life with the tools that you have available to you now. Okay, money. There may also be some money blocks. Maybe you're needing to get investors or create space to like put money away, like create a savings account so that you do have a little bit more money to invest in this idea as you come up on certain what's the word, like milestones of this path. Okay, but let's see what else we have here before we really get into the messages. All right, we also have Page of Swords, but that's like your energy over the next 3 months. It's just like go, 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 jumping from one thing to the next, getting things done. Getting things done despite the blocks. All right, we also have 6 of Wands, victory. Yes. Okay, this is a beautiful pile to start out with. We've got some really exciting things happening here, pile 1. All right, so yes, you have an idea, you have a vision for something that you're wanting to achieve, something that you're wanting to accomplish, and you are full steam ahead. You are making this happen. Nothing is stopping you. Nothing is getting you down. Of course, we have that 8 of Coins there coming in, reminding you that there may be some physical obstacles that you happen upon, but with your surrounding cards here, especially the 6 of Wands, King of Swords, Page of Swords, you're not going to let those physical blocks stop you from making this dream come true. Nothing is going to stop you, not even those physical things that are trying to stop you. Okay, I'm also seeing here and hearing that there may be people in your life who are really doubting you because they can't see the vision that you see in your mind's eye. And so when you start to pursue this path or share these ideas with other people, they're just looking at you like you're crazy. They're just like, how can you do that? I don't think you're going to be able to do that. And it's because you're taking a huge leap of faith on yourself, and you are... So I'm seeing here that you have this divine vision, this divine download for something that you want to make happen, all right? But there are different perspectives that are getting shifted here. So one, the perspective of the people around you and how they view you is going to be shaken up by you choosing to pursue this path, choosing to pursue this goal, okay? Because it's something very different and unique than who you've been in the past. All right. So when you start to pursue this path, people are going to be like, whoa, slow down there. Who are you? Where'd you get this energy? Where'd you get these ideas? Who told you you could do that? Who gave you permission to do that? And it's like, nobody gave you permission to do that except for you, which is what this idea, this path was waiting for. It was waiting for you to give yourself permission to finally take the leap and put your wisdom and your skills to work to make this happen. And so you're finally making it happen. The other thing that was coming through is this vision, this idea. It seems like it's something that it's going to be different for everyone. For some of you, it's an idea, a goal, a dream that you've been sitting on for a long, long, long time, maybe years and years and years. And it's almost like you're coming to this point of realizing that the when and the hows are not going to present themselves to you until you just start choosing to pursue this path with what you have now. Okay, and we're going to go a little deeper into that, but I want to share the other side of this. For some of you, this idea is going to be a divine download. It's going to come to you out of the blue, and it's going to be so inspiring. It's going to feel like a huge yes in your body and your being, that once you receive this idea and this knowledge, this wisdom, this dream, this goal, this plan, you're not going to want to wait to pursue it. You're just going to start moving into a space of taking action. Okay, now, whichever side you're on, whether this is a long-held dream or one that just falls into your lap out of the blue, another reason why people may have these judgments, these perspectives around you choosing to pursue this path and idea with such tenacity is because it seems like you're pursuing something is almost like out of your league, like it's out of bounds, because you may not actually have, like here with the 8 of Coins, you may not actually have all the tools, all the money, all the resources that you need to actually make this happen. But you believe in this idea, in the possibility of this path and your potential, so much so that none of that matters to you. Okay, and so people are just making these judgments about it because they're like looking at you like you're trying to build a house, but you don't have a hammer, or you're trying to build a house, but you don't have the nails, you don't have the wood. And they're just like, how are you going to make this happen without the tools that you need? And you're just convinced that the wood, the nails, the hammer, it's going to show up, or you're going to find a way to go out there and get it for yourself or make it for yourself. Okay, so even though there are these different obstacles that you'll have to overcome in terms of being able to supply yourself and this goal, this path, this dream with the resources that you need to make it happen, you're going to overcome those obstacles and you're going to make it happen. It's just that the path to getting there, it may not be a straight path. You may have to pivot a little, make some adjustments, pivot a little, make some adjustments, and so on and so forth. Okay. All right, love, so let's go ahead and get some specific guidance on what you can expect for each month. Okay, so let's see, what are we going to need to know for the first month? All right, and we're going to just do 3 cards for each month. All right, so let's see. So this is for the first month. We have the Star. All right, we have the 9 of Coins, and we have the Hanged Man. All right, so this first month, from whenever you're watching this, is when you are going to receive the insight, the divine download, and the belief in yourself, okay? So for some of you, I've been feeling that you have had an idea or a goal, maybe a vision for how you want to live your life overall. Like maybe you have very big dream, like you have huge dreams, sorry for my language, but you know, you have huge dreams for your life overall. Maybe it's not just one specific thing that you're wanting to pursue, but you just have huge dreams for how you want to live your life overall, experience your life, but it's very different from how you've been living your life or how you're living your life now, okay? And for others of you, you're just going to receive some type of divine insight, a divine download, an idea for something that you're meant to create or pursue, a path that you are meant to be walking down upon, okay? But with the King of Swords, the Page of Swords, Six of Wands here, this does feel as though you're meant to be in some type of leadership role, all right? You're meant to be leading the path forward, first for yourself, and then for some of you, maybe for a community, maybe for an industry, but in some way, some shape or form, you're meant to be in a leadership role. And overall, no matter which of those messages you resonate with, I do feel that a lot of you are going to have to work on shifting your belief, your perspective of self come the first month. So it's almost like that energy of enough is enough. It's time to stop playing small. It's time to stop being a follower, and it's time to shift into the role of being a leader and to take control of your life, take control of the visions that God and universe has gifted to you, and it's time to start creating them and pursuing them and moving forward with the ideas and inspiration that you have been gifted, that you have prayed for, that you have wished for, that you have attempted to manifest. And it's time to start actually believing that you are worthy and deserving of this life, of these visions, of these dreams, of these goals that you want to experience and pursue. Okay? It is meant to be for you. You are meant to have the life, the goals, the dreams, the desires that you have been gifted, that you have envisioned for yourself and for others, for your family, but ultimately really for yourself, okay? Because each of these cards, every single card here, has one individual person, one individual being on it. Oh, except the star here. I guess I'm the Nine of Coins here, but each of these cards here has like an individual character that is really leading the way. They're guiding the way forward, except for the star here, because this is of course about wishing on the star, praying to a higher power, and your prayers have been heard, okay? But part of manifestation is co-creation, and so you have already made your prayers, you've already set the intentions, you've already received the insight and the knowing now for what it is that you're meant to do, what path you're meant to pursue and follow. And what you're meant to do, it doesn't require a lot of work and effort from you, because it's something that comes so naturally to you, and it's something that just lights you up, that brings you a lot of joy. It's something that you have a lot of divine wisdom and insight around. It's something that allows you to feel supported and to feel held. The only reason that you don't feel that way now is because you are not allowing yourself to pursue it. You're not allowing yourself to move forward with it, no matter what blocks come upon the path. Because within your being, your soul knows that you are meant to be pursuing this path, that this is something that you're meant to be creating, walking upon, and leading the way forward towards and for. Okay, your soul knows that. Your ego, though, because we have the Hanged Man here, okay, may take a little bit more convincing, all right? Maybe because of the, the naysayers that are around you, questioning, how are you going to do that? You don't have the nails, you don't have the hammer, you don't have the wood, but you have the knowledge, you have the wisdom, you have the potential, and you have the tenacity, you have the inspiration, and that's all you need. Work with what you have, what is available to you now, and if there's something that you need that you don't have, wish upon that star and then be on the lookout for it, or ask others for it. Maybe you can ask for people to loan you the things that you need. You can ask them, maybe to pay for something now and you'll pay them back later when the funds come through. Don't be afraid to ask for help, okay? That's going to be some guidance that you want to take note of, store in your pocket for that first month when you finally start shifting your perspective, believing in the possibility and the potential of this path and of yourself. When you start taking those baby steps towards this path, don't forget that you do have a sense of support around you in terms of your physical needs and the resources, the tools that you're going to need to make this dream happen and to make this a possibility. Okay? And remember, work with what you have. So something around fitness keeps coming up for this pile. So for some of you, maybe you're wanting to work on your fitness in some way. Maybe you're wanting to lose weight, you're wanting to tone up. Maybe you're wanting to achieve some type of fitness goal. All right, maybe you're wanting to like lift a certain amount of weights, or like run a marathon or run a half marathon or a 5K. Maybe you're wanting to enter into, I don't live in a cold climate, but like maybe you're wanting to do some type of like cold climate activities, like skiing competitions or snowboarding competitions. And there are just certain things that you have to start doing in order to prepare for what it is that you're wanting to achieve when it comes to these fitness goals. And so what Spirit's saying around that is so very simple. Work with what you have. Okay, so maybe you don't have the best, like maybe you want to run a marathon, but maybe you don't have the best running shoes. Okay, so go around, ask people if they have some running shoes that they're getting rid of that maybe they've never used, they only try on once or twice, or hop on eBay or Facebook Marketplace, see if there are some new with tag shoes that they didn't wear, they didn't use for a discounted price. All right, scope out the thrift stores around you. People are always getting rid of things that they never use. They bought it, but they never used it. All right. So use your resources, use the power of prayer and manifestation to call in the things that you are needing, that you're trying to align with to help you achieve these goals. Don't take no for an answer. Don't take those blocks for an answer. It's just an obstacle that you're meant to overcome. The other advice around that is, Spirit saying some of you may be using like excuses. Okay, so maybe you're used to like running or walking on a treadmill every day, or maybe it starts raining outside and so you're like, oh, how am I going to be able to go outside and practice for this marathon that I'm trying to run? It's pouring rain outside, but I don't have a treadmill. You can still go outside and run in the rain. Put on a rain jacket and go outside and run in the rain. Just make sure that when you get in, you take all your wet clothes off, you dry off, and you'll be okay. You will survive. People run in the rain all the time. All right. Or just practice running in place inside, or just take a rest day, get back at it tomorrow. There are different things that you can do to help set yourself up for success, but it comes in the belief of yourself, the belief that this is possible for you, the belief that this is meant for you, and the belief that you are not willing to continue to make the excuses that you've been making to not pursue this path and to allow those obstacles to continuously put you back down. All right, that's not happening anymore. Your perspective is shifting. The belief in yourself is coming through. And another message that's coming through for the first month of what you can expect around this energy too is that there are going to be little confirmations that come in. Okay, so when you're working on your prayers and your vision, like envisioning and trying to manifest the alignment of what it is that you're trying to receive, what it is you're trying to achieve, align with an experience, Spirit is saying to also ask for signs of confirmation that you're on the right path and that these dreams and visions of what it is that you're pursuing are possible. And those signs and confirmation are going to come through. And I'm seeing very specifically, they are going to come through other people congratulating you, other people noticing the shift that is happening within you, other people telling you, wow, we were all doubting you, but look at you, you're actually making it happen. despite all the naysaying that was happening around you, you're making this happen. Keep making it happen. You are an inspiration. You're inspiring others to be able to pursue their divine downloads, their intuitive ideas, their own personal wisdom. All right, so let's see if anything else comes through here. We're just going to quickly talk about the symbolism. We've got the lamb here. We've got the little yellow bird. I also saw a yellow bird up here. So yellow birds, lambs may be significant for you for that first month. We also have like a bed of roses here. So somebody may be receiving roses unexpectedly. I know rose blooms don't really pop up in the middle of summer season. Definitely not winter if you're in the southern hemisphere. But roses could be significant. Maybe you are getting some unexpected blooms coming out on some rose bushes. Maybe you're even like visiting a rose garden, botanical rose garden. So roses are significant there. Somebody's name could also be Rose. Okay, we also have watermelons. Maybe just enjoying some watermelons, making foods with watermelons, like watermelon salad, watermelon slushies. Also, these, I know these are pentacles, but like this one here kind of looks like a diamond, the way that they're drawn. Some of them look like diamonds, and even the stars kind of remind me of the energy of a diamond. So maybe somebody's getting a gift of like diamond jewelry, or this is just a sign confirmation for somebody that you are a diamond, so shine like one. Also, diamonds are known for their inability to break easy, and so on this path you are not going to break easy. Those obstacles, those roadblocks, those naysayers, those haters come up, you're not going to break. You believe in yourself, you believe in the dream, the passion, so much so that nothing is going to stop you from pursuing this path, from making this happen, except for you. So remember that you're the only one stopping yourself from pursuing this path and making it happen, making it possible. All right, love, so let's go ahead and get into month 2. What can we expect to experience in our second month? What does pile 1 need to know for the second month? Okay, we'll take that card. We have too many here, so we'll take this one, we'll take that one. Page of Wands, let's go one more. Okay, we have 2 more coming out. All right, so we've got the Page of Wands. Page of Wands. The Hierophant. Wisdom, your inner wisdom there. 7 of Coins. And we've got the Queen of Cups. All right, so let's see what's going on here. All right, so I'm feeling here in the second month, you're going to be presented with the possibility of choice. All right, so this could be where your path kind of experiences like it's divulging in some way, or diverting. Yeah, I think diverting, where it's like it's opening up into 2 or 3 different paths. And potential possibilities as to what you can pursue with this path. Okay, so for some of you, if you're experiencing a business, say you're pursuing like these are just examples too that I'm giving here. Same with like the health and fitness examples. Those were just examples. But say you are pursuing a business and you have like a niche business, and let's see if spirit something with like laws coming up. I know not all lawyers have their own business, some of them work for firms, but say you're pursuing the idea of creating your own law firm, okay, you're having your own business. And so when you initially start, you know, you're just focused on the idea of opening a law firm. But within the realm of law, there are many different types of lawyers that are needed. You know, we need like divorce lawyers, we need like traffic consultant lawyers, we need government issue lawyers, and just different things like that. And so as you go upon this path, the second month, you know, you may have to kind of fine tune, like, well, what do I actually want to do with this niche that I'm already in? There's like a sub niche of what it is that you can pursue. And it's not to say that you have to break yourself down into those sub niches, but I'm just seeing here that the possibility of, you know, choosing a sub niche maybe temporarily is going to open up for you to have to decide upon. Okay, it doesn't mean that you have to forever be doing that one thing, but you may just be a little bit more hyper focused on pursuing this one thing during that month. So going back to the example of fitness, so, you know, when you're working on your fitness, maybe you're trying to tone up or bulk up, you know, you have to also include the element of nutrition, your sleep, your fitness, your like actual exercising, what you're doing to exercise. And so maybe for the second month, you may focus on nutrition and not so much worried about your sleep just yet, or not so much worried about making sure you do all these different types of like cardio or hyper intensive workout, you know, and just things like that, or the cool down workouts. You know, I'm obviously not educated in athletics, but we've got a little bit of knowledge there. Okay, so it's like you may just be focusing on one thing so that later on and eventually as you continue upon this path, it all comes into a complete circle. Okay, so another message that's coming up around that too is to remind yourself that this is something that, yes, it's going to be moving very fast, very quickly. You're going to be seeing the results of what it is that you're working on directly in the moment, but the whole picture of your vision may not come to a completion right away. All right, maybe not until the end of the 3 months, maybe not until later on down the line, 6 months. You are just beginning to get started with pursuing this idea in the public eye and also choosing this idea for yourself. So just remember that, especially in the second month when the path diverts a little bit and you have to niche down a bit on what it is that you're focusing on within this specific path that you're pursuing. Okay. All right, let's see if anything else comes up. I do feel that you're going to be feeling really great this month with the Queen of Cups here, Page of Wands. You're going to be making progress. You're going to be seeing the results that you want. Your wisdom, your intuitive insight is coming in full force. You feel right on the money. You feel that you're doing right by yourself, right by whatever it is that you're pursuing, connecting with. All right, so let's go ahead and see what's coming up for your third month. And the only symbol that I'm really drawn to on here is actually these big banana bunches. I thought they kind of look like pineapples, so pineapples may be significant to somebody as well, but also maybe some banana bunches. Maybe you're taking a trip to a tropical island or just eating more tropical fruits. All right, so let's see our third and final month. What does pile one need to know? What can they expect to experience? All right. Let's get one more. Wow, we have 7 of Coins again. Knight of Swords and the Emperor. I'll show you the Knight of Swords there. Okay. So again, I feel that come the third month, you're still going to be kind of sub-niching down. Your sub-niche may change a little bit. So say you're working on nutrition in that second month, your third month, you're still going to be working on all that you learned from nutrition, but you're going to be stacking on top of it. Now you're going to be focusing on improving your sleep, or stacking on top of it, focusing on working on like the specific types of exercises that you're working on, okay? But you're still going to be moving full force ahead. All right, Knight of Swords here. You're going to have a lot more clarity around what it is that you're trying to create, what it is that you're trying to pursue. You're still moving towards this vision. You haven't lost sight of your why you're pursuing this journey, why you're pursuing this dream, this path, this possibility. And then we also have the Emperor here, which is just signifying that you're going to be standing very strong in this path. You're no longer going to be at that first month where you're at right now, where you're working on this sense of belief in yourself and just, you know, really questioning whether or not this path is meant for you. You're going to be rooted in the knowing that what it is you're pursuing, what it is that you're working towards is something that you are actually meant to be pursuing and working towards and in alignment with. You're going to feel like the king of the castle. All right, you're going to be the king of this path. Yes, You're like the prophet, okay? Because you've received this divine insight, this divine download. You are the Hierophant. You're receiving these beautiful, inspiring ideas, this wisdom from within, this wisdom from the divine, and you are taking it and creating something magical from that thing that only existed in your head, only existed in your mind's eye, and you're creating something in the physical realm with it out of like nothing. Okay, it's like when you start this journey where you're at right now, you are going to have so much more than you have right now. It's like it's almost like where you're at now, tuning in and watching this video, and where you were at in the first month, you had nothing. You were literally and are literally going to jump into this journey on a hope and a dream. And that's all you got. But come the third month, you're going to have all the things that you need. You're going to have the tools, you're going to have the wisdom, the knowledge, the resources, the connections that you need to make this dream a reality. And you're going to be really settled and rooted in to that physical energy, and just knowing that you were right. You were right. And that God was right. God was guiding you. God was leading you. Universe, interchange that word however you like. Source, your higher self was leading you and guiding you through this path the whole time. And they are still working through you. You are still working to make this dream become a reality, to finally create the vision that you have been holding on to in your mind's eye, whether for years and years and years, or something that just landed and fell into your lap quite recently. You're going to make this happen. You are making this happen. Okay, we're talking through the lens of us being in the third month. You are making this happen. It is already happening, and you feel so good about it. And so when you look back at the beginning, just 3 months ago, when you started this journey, you had nothing but a hope and a dream, and now look at where you're at. It's finally coming to be. You're getting that physical proof. You're getting that physical confirmation. You're getting those affirmations from the people around you that doubted you, and from new people around you that are just feeling really inspired by what it is that you're creating, what it is that you're pursuing. So keep going, baby. Keep going. You've got this. All right, so some symbology here. We've got the horse. I think, yep, there's a horse here on the Six of Wands as well. So you may be doing some horseback riding, working with horses, maybe volunteering at a horse sanctuary, learning more about horses. Okay, this could also be your spirit animal, or you are your Chinese zodiac symbol as well. I think we're in the year of the horse too. We're in the year of the fire horse. So this is your year. All right, we've got the fire right there. 7 of coins with the horse, and 6 of wands represents fire energy as well. All right, so fire horse, this is your year. This is when you finally make the magic happen of what it is that you've been sitting on, what it is you've been waiting to experience and pursue. I'm also seeing in the third month, some of you may be moving, or you may start taking the steps to move like houses, move into a new place where you're living at, or moving office locations, whether you work for a company or whether you are a business owner. Okay, so maybe your company as a whole is moving offices, or if you're an entrepreneur, you have your own business, you are deciding to move locations. All right, love, so that is it for our peek into each of the months. So we are going to close out your reading by pulling a couple oracle cards and just getting a little bit of some new guidance here to help send us off. All right, I'm feeling drawn to the Mermaid's oracle. So what do we need to know from the oracle of the mermaids? Okay. All right, they're shuffled. Saying they're shuffled. All right, let's see. What does pile 1 need to know? Let's get some new guidance for the next 3 months. All right, we'll pull this way. All right, so we have... we have 20, falling in love, kissing the divine and another in yourself, kissing the divine. Yes, you are finally listening to the guidance that you have been receiving on an intuitive level, and you're falling in love with the answers, with the insight, with the wisdom, with the passion of what it is that you have felt within the depths of your soul. 35, the crane bag, sacred ocean medicine, clutter, declutter, and choice. And we also have 13, the return of Aphrodite, temple, birth of the goddess, guidance, goddess energy, and treating as sacred. Yes, so you have 2 cards representing the energy of love here. So some of you, this entire reading may actually be about a relationship where you meet somebody new. Maybe some of you have been manifesting or trying to align with or attract a soulmate partner. Maybe you envision for yourself wanting to connect with somebody that you can see yourself getting married to, starting a family with, and for some of you, maybe you're finally meeting the one, and all those messages that we talked about are in connection to that romantic love interest, and you're opening yourself up to the possibility that this individual could be the one that you see yourself settling down with and starting to pursue that vision of starting your own family together. Okay, and even though you are quite possibly, you know, if you're just meeting this individual, it's very unlikely that you're like at the precipice of actually starting that family together. But for some of you, it's like just the thoughts are coming in, the revelations around you connecting with this person in such a romantic sense and in such a passionate way, and you just feel really connected and attracted to this person. You feel safe with them. And so for some of you, that's what the overall messages could be about. Okay, and so take that with a grain of salt, my loves, if you are not trying to attract that. Okay, that's a very, very specific message for people that have been wishing and praying and hoping to meet somebody in that light. Okay, for others of you, it may be connected to the examples that we gave around business, around fitness, around health. You're going to know what it is that you've been trying to call in and align with. All right, but I am getting more messages around love, and so for some of you, the obstacles, the naysayers around love, you know, people may be telling you that you're moving too fast with this person, but you just feel a soulmate connection, a soulmate attraction to them. You may even be twin flames, because we have the dolphin symbology here, which represents that energy of twin flame sacred union. We also have dolphins back here on this card as well, double confirmation there. But listen to your intuition, trust your gut on that. But I'm also hearing too that maybe Aphrodite sent this romantic connection your way because she has been listening to your prayers, to your calls, to align with and receive connection with the one that you love. Okay, so just know that your prayers around love and soulmate attraction have been heard, and Spirit, the goddess, God, is working to align you with that love. So I almost want to say, like, be on the lookout, but at the same time, you don't have to be on the lookout, because you're going to align with each other exactly when you're meant to. Spirit's also saying to allow yourself to open up to the possibility of love. So I'm seeing here too that some of you may actually be creating your blocks and obstacles around receiving the possibility of this love because of subconscious beliefs in yourself. And so this is going to go back to the messages from the first month around working on your perspective shifts and your belief that you do deserve to have the love in a soulmate connection that you desire and that you dream to experience. Okay, so you may need to go into your subconscious archives and really ask yourself, what beliefs are you holding on to that are preventing you from aligning with the love that you desire? Okay, where in your life do you believe that you are not worthy and deserving of this soulmate love? Okay, where in your past have you been hurt or guided, or not guided, but influenced by past experiences with past relationships to not trust other individuals in a romantic light. Okay, so very specific questions and guidance there for somebody who is trying to attune and align with love and romance. Okay, I keep wanting to shift away from the message, and Spirit keeps coming back around. So that's very specific guidance for somebody. Let me know if you'd like to claim that. I'd love to hear from you. Love to dive deeper into that with you. All right, so let's see what else is coming up. Spirit's giving me the go ahead. We can go on to the next message, which is around this crane back here. Okay, so that was around the subconscious clearing. But another thing is Spirit saying over these next 3 months, specifically in the first month, they're saying here is you may want to physically declutter things that are keeping you stuck and blocked in your previous life and beliefs about yourself that won't allow you to exist and experience what it is that you're trying to align with and experience on this new path that you're trying to pursue. Okay, but they are saying to also be mindful of decluttering too much, because like we shared with the 8 of Coins over and over again here, is that your resources for what you're wanting to pursue on this path may appear to be very limited, but you have everything you need to get started on this path now. And so be very mindful of what it is that you toss out, because later on down the line in your second or third month, you may come to realize that you actually need something that you tossed out. Like it could actually be of use to you. Okay, but they are saying if there are things that you're holding on to, maybe specifically connected to like old flames, old relationships that just have like a heavy sentimental weight to it that you don't need reminders of, let those things go. Okay, if there are things that, okay, so clothes, you know, if you're working on your fitness, get rid of clothes that just don't make you feel good about yourself. Get rid of old clothes that don't fit you right. All right, clear that stuff out. Okay, it's not serving you. It's only keeping you stuck in those previous cycles of what it is that you're trying to release and move on from. All right, lives. Let's go ahead and pull our last couple cards now. Our readings are getting long, but these are 3-month forecast. So we're just going with the flow, and I love to do these long readings, so thank you for sticking around with me if you are still here. Alright, so let's see, what is our last animal guide for pile 1? Okay, we have the Hound and Pair with loyalty. The Hound and Pair with loyalty. Alright. So what is this about? Let's see, and this is 23. All right, Spirit is saying to be loyal to yourself. Be loyal to yourself. Be loyal to this path. Be loyal to your visions, to your ideas, and to your inspirations. Put a little sweetness in them, all right? You know, like when you bite into a pear and it's just so sweet. It's not like overbearingly sweet, but it's like just the right amount of sweetness. Spirit is saying to sprinkle that just right amount of sweetness into this path that you are pursuing. You know, don't give everything away all at once, but don't hold back so much so that others can't see what moves you're making or what it is that you're pursuing, what path you're walking upon now. Okay, because with this card, what's coming up is you are making some big changes in your life over these next 3 months. This is a really big, powerful reading here to be starting off with pile 1, but you're making some really big shifts in your life, and it is starting with the way that you view yourself and the way you view your sense of desires and what it is that you long to experience and to call into your life. And so with that, there can be this hesitancy to start to show others the new you and to really start to embody the energy of who you are becoming and who you want to be and who you are now. And so Spirit's just saying to go slow with it. You know, you don't have to like throw everything away right away, and you don't have to throw all this newness out there all at once. You can start slow. So coming back around to that fitness example, you know, it's like when you start working out, they say it takes I don't know the exact timeline, so I'm probably wrong with this, but they say it takes about 2 weeks for you to start to feel the effects of your daily workout routine. It takes 4 weeks for you to start to see the results. It takes 6 weeks for others to start to see the results. All right, so just kind of play around with that timeline in terms of, whatever it is that you're doing here. It's going to take 2 weeks for you to feel comfortable with the changes that you're making and to feel comfortable and a little bit more rooted in the habits and routines and the patterns that you're now pursuing and aligning yourself with, or the people that you're now connecting with and allowing into your life. And then it's going to take 4 weeks for you to feel completely rooted in and settled in the inner knowing that that is the path that you are meant to be pursuing, that you feel good about now, and to start seeing the results and the effects of the changes that you've made. And then 6 weeks for others to start to congratulate you, to start to notice how this new pursuit is changing your energy, how great you feel, how happy you feel, how joyful you feel, how inspired you feel. And it will then have a trickle effect into inspiring them as well. So first they notice, and then we'll say 8 weeks, then they start to jump on the bandwagon too, and they start to ask you questions about how you did it, how you're doing it, and then it creates that ripple effect and so on and so forth. Now, everyone's timeline may be a little bit different, and because this is a 3-month perspective, it may be like 1 month for you to start to feel the effects, 2 months for you to start to feel rooted in it, 3 months for others to start to see the effects. So just play around with that sequence a little bit as it will be applied to you, but just remember that it's there and that it is going to take some time. And so you don't have to expect everyone to jump on these changes right away, and you don't have to show everyone everything about what it is that you're pursuing, what it is that you're changing in your personal life and on this path that you're pursuing right away either. You can kind of, sprinkle a little bit here and there until it's undeniable. All right, loves. All right, so I feel that is it for your reading today, my pile ones. Thank you so much for tuning in and allowing me to tap in and provide you with this 3-month forecast and the guidance that went along with it. It has been such an honor, and I'm so excited and thrilled to see what magic you create, what magic you align with and call into your life over the next month. This was a really beautiful, positive reading to kick us off with our 3 pile choices today. So I thank you so much once again for allowing me to tap in to this magic of what it is that you're creating. All right, loves, so that is it for your reading today. I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed new season and next 3 months of life. Until next time. Bye, love. Hello, love. Welcome into your reading to those of you who chose pile 2. If you selected pile 2, you chose the card 33 with Heaven Sent. So it's really beautiful, angelic energy, and I definitely feel like this energy is presenting that over the course of the next 3 months, some type of miraculous answer, or some type of answer will be miraculously revealed to you, okay? But let's go ahead and pull your tarot cards just so we can get an overall look of what you can expect to be experiencing over the course of this next season, over the next 3 months. So we are going to start by pulling cards from the Tarot of the Divine to get an overview of the general energy, general themes of what you're experiencing and what guidance you need to help you throughout these next 3 months. And then we will pull more tarot cards to go into each individual month. All right, so we'll pull cards for month 1, month 2, month 3, so on and so forth. All right, loves. And I feel like I am stumbling over my words, not speaking clearly. So there could definitely be some throat chakra healing that needs to happen here. I even feel like a little bit of a tickle in my throat as well. All right, so some throat chakra activation may be due over the course of these next 3 months. Maybe something that needs to be communicated, something that you've been seeing, envisioning in your third eye, in your mind's eye, that you're needing to bring to light, needing to speak up about, and bring clarity towards. All right, but let's see what we have here. So we have the Queen of Wands. All right, Queen of Wands. We've got the Queen of Coins. Wow, 2 queens back to back. We also have the Star, 17, the Star. This also came out in Pile 1's reading. And the Hierophant. This came out in Pile 1's reading as well. And we have 3 of Wands. Okay. So if you were torn between Pile 1 or Pile 2, you may want to check out Pile 1's reading, but trust your intuition on that. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Pile 2. All right, so these readings are showing very positive insight to come over the course of the next 3 months. And so you're also having a pretty positive outlook here for the course of the next 3 months, Pile 2. What's different about your energy from Pile 1's here is I feel that overall, if you've chosen Pile 2 over the previous months, maybe previous couple years, you have gone through a bit of a rough patch where you have quite literally had moments where you've been on your hands and knees praying to the divine, praying for help. You know, I just realized we should cover this up here because YouTube has an issue with those things. All right, so let's just cover that up. But coming back around, it's like you've gone through a very challenging past couple months to past couple years. The timeline's gonna be different for everyone, but you've quite literally been on your hands and knees praying to God, praying to universe, praying to the divine for some type of reprieve, for some type of miracle to come through and to take you out of those constant ebbs that you were having to fight through, that you were having to push through. And now, over the course of the next 3 months, you're going to see this energy of miracle after miracle after miracle making its way upon your path and showing you that your prayers were heard, and that even through the difficult and challenging moments of life, you were truly never alone. And God, universe, your angels, your ancestors, the divine was always there listening to you. But a deeper sense too is with the Hierophant here is that you're also going to come into the realization and revelations that you have always had the wisdom and the means to get yourself out of those challenging experiences and situations. So I am seeing here, if you've chosen Pile 2, and as we get in, as we get deeper into our month by month predictions, I am seeing that you may come upon challenging experiences in the next couple months that mirror things that you've already gone through. And it's because the divine is trying to show you how you have ultimately, I don't want to say you've been creating these challenges and experiences in your life, but in some way, shape, or form, you have chosen to align with these experiences because there's something deeper within yourself that you are meant to come to the realization of. And so over the course of these next 3 months, if you have an experience that mirrors a challenging situation that you have already gone through over the course of the past, no more than 3 years, past couple months to 3 years, it is only happening again because you didn't learn or realize something about yourself in relation to this type of experience. And it's connected to and rooted in your strength and your perspective and your wisdom in connection to how you have the means and ability to overcome and to climb above what is being shown to you on the surface level. Okay, so it's just something that's happening in the physical. What's happening in this physical situation means nothing about your sense of worth, means nothing about your capability, means nothing about your level of strength and ferocity. You are not inferior to these challenges in these life situations and experiences. You are able to see the light of these situations and able to climb right over and above them. And so over the course of the next 3 months, you may go through those challenging experiences and situations, but it's only happening as a means to get you to see that you've been sort of in some way aligning with and attracting them all along to teach yourself a lesson about yourself and your true capability. All right. So I know that's probably, not what we want to hear. We want things to be easygoing. Life's not always easygoing. But with the Queen of Wands and the Two of Coins there, I am seeing that overall, you will be physically supported. You will have the means that you need to overcome these challenges and these obstacles and these tough situations that you're going to be facing. It's more so the mental and emotional latitudes that you need to overcome, that you need to push past, or that you need to bring healing towards. Okay, so I am seeing too with that Queen of Coins and Queen of Wands, if some of you have been looking for a new job or new line of work, or you've been trying to start a business in some way, it's going to take off, or you're going to get that call back over the course of the next 3 months, and we may get more specific insight on that as we dive into the month-by-month prediction. So I just pulled cards for the first month, so let's see what we can expect for you, pile 2, in the first month. We have 1, the Magician. Yes, recognizing that you co-create your reality with the divine. And then we have 13, Death. Putting it to rest, putting your struggles to rest. King of Cups. Yep, overcoming it. Overcoming those emotional woes and replacing them with emotional joys. All right, so where you have felt struggle and fight, you're going to be transforming and transmuting that energy into a sense of peace and respite. All right, you're going to be able to see the struggles, to see the challenges for the blessings that they were and are. And it's all coming to light because you're recognizing the part that you have played in these situations, and in maybe holding on too tightly to ill perspective of those situations. Okay, so let's see if we can get a specific example here. We're going to go with the example of a breakup. This is just what's coming to light. It may not be your specific situation, but maybe you've gone through a breakup, a romantic breakup with somebody over, maybe it's been over a year, maybe it's been over 2 years, but you've been almost like holding this energy of a grudge. And ever since then, maybe you try to go on dates with people, but nothing sticks. Maybe you start dating someone for a couple months and then they break up with you. Doesn't stick. And then you try to date someone again, break up with you a couple weeks later, and it just keeps happening and happening and happening. And you're going to come into the realization that maybe it's happening because of that really difficult, challenging breakup that you went through all those years ago, that you're holding this emotional residual energy towards of that grudge-like aspect, where you're just exerting a lot of blame onto the other person, maybe exerting a lot of blame onto yourself. What did you do wrong? What could you have done differently? And each time you date somebody new, that blame just grows and grows and grows over yourself. Like, I just keep seeing that you keep blaming yourself, and putting a lot of like unworthy energy onto yourself, whether this is about a breakup or not. This can be applied to your situation, whatever it may be. For some of you, it could be like a disconnect from a job, or the inability to generate or produce the amount of income that you're wanting to call in, that you're wanting to make every month or every year. It's going to be different for each and every one of you. But overall, I'm seeing that whatever it is, you've held this energy of like animosity towards something that just hasn't been working out to you. And for some of you too, it could be different things, where it's just like something negative happens and then another negative thing happens and another negative thing happens, and you just keep thinking like, when is all this bad juju gonna stop? When is this gonna stop? And it's only going to stop when you recognize the part that you're playing in attracting those experiences into your reality based on the perspective and the wisdom that you hold and the judgments that you're making around these experiences. Life is just made up of experiences. We are the ones that give them emotional and mental attachment of positive or negative. And really, it's through our emotions. All right, that's why we have the King of Cups here. And so recognizing that whatever emotions you exude towards any situation in life is going to decide whether or not those experiences repeat and continue to generate into your life, or whether or not they stop and move away from your life. Okay. And this is a whole lesson in itself on attraction and manifestation and life itself, because I also don't want to disregard that life is hard, life is challenging, and sometimes we do just go through really challenging experiences, and we do have to work to go through the process of those heavier emotions. And sometimes life just is what it is. It's not necessarily a means of co-creating it or calling in those experiences, although in some sense it can be. But I don't want to discredit those more challenging experiences that you absolutely did not manifest. It was just a series of events, a series of life happening and causing an effect on you personally. Okay, so I don't want to discredit or disregard those experiences that you quite literally had no control over. So this is going to be applied to things that you do have a sense of mental and emotional control over, in connection to the perspective and the wisdom that you hold around these situations and challenges and obstacles that keep falling upon your path. And so what Spirit's really trying to say here is, it's almost like you keep, falling down on your hands and knees, praying for a sense of reprieve, but not realizing that you also have the means and ability to pull yourself up out of those obstacles, to climb over the ladder, to climb the ladder yourself, put it up against the wall yourself, ask somebody to hold it for you. Maybe you don't even need someone to hold it for you. You can put some heavy weights on it, make sure that it's stable and secure, and then climb up that thing all on your own. Okay, so you do have the capability and the potential to move beyond the perspective of struggle and challenge through shifting your perspective around when these challenging experiences fall upon your path. All right, you have the ability to transmute and transform how you are emotionally responding to these more challenging life experiences that you are being navigated through and also choosing to navigate through. All right, so a couple different things coming in here. Again, the miracle healing. All right, so in the first month, you're going to receive some type of miracle, a miracle insight, a revelation, like a revelation of a miracle. It's something around your perspective and how you're viewing the situations overall. So you may not quite yet get that physical miracle that we're seeing with the Queen of Wands and Queen of Coins here, but your perspective will shift. And perspective was also very much brought up in Pile 1's reading as well. So you definitely may want to tune into that reading if you were feeling called or torn between Pile 1 or 2. All right, so dragons may be significant to you in this first month. All right, maybe you have the Chinese zodiac of a dragon. Also really drawn to this red cloak here, this red curtain. Maybe red cloaks are significant to you. She's kind of wearing like a red dress here. So this also represents the sacral chakra energy, which can represent the energy of sexuality and creativity. Okay, so both of these practices, allowing yourself to be sexually active with yourself or a partner, and then also allowing yourself to express your creativity through whichever modality you feel called to, can help to release and transmute some of this energy that you're holding on to from past experiences and situations, and to help you transmute that energy into a more freeing and lighthearted perspective. Okay, and Magician is also about creativity, co-creating your reality with the divine and with the tools, wisdom, and magic that has been bestowed upon you. All right, love. So let's go ahead and see what we can expect to experience in the second month of the season. All right, so what does pile 2 need to know for the second month? Let's got one more. Okay, go to this one. All right, so we have the Ace of Coins. There we go. Physical miracles coming in for you in the second month of the season. We also have the Two of Wands. Yes, further confirmation there with the Queen of Wands, Queen of Coins. And wow, look at that. We have the King of Cups again. And you all saw me shuffle, 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 and then split the deck. I ended up splitting it twice. It was calling its presence back out here on the table. King of Cups. Okay, your emotions are key here. Your emotions are key. Your emotions are what is predicting the flow of what is coming in and out of your life. So how are you feeling? How are you allowing yourself to feel? Tune into those emotions. And some of you may be repressing those emotions, all right? Because you are so focused on what is lacking in your physical reality. You're so focused on what isn't there. That's why you keep falling onto your hands and knees, just asking the divine, asking God, please, 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 please bring it to me. Please give it to me. Why isn't this coming in? That is focus on lack. Focus on what is not there and how it makes you feel so just sad, so angry, whatever it makes you feel, but it is essentially some type of emotion that you associate with this energy of not being present in your life, which can be translated to that energy of negativity. And so we want to transmute that energy into positivity and bring your focus to what is available to you and what do you have power and control over, in the sense of what is available to you. What are you capable of connecting with, giving gratitude for, recognizing exists in your life now, and what means do you have to be able to help yourself up the ladder? Not what isn't there that you wish was there to help you get to the next step on this journey or to help you receive whatever it is you're trying to receive, but how does it exist in your life now? And if it doesn't exist in your life now, what is available in your life now to help you get there? To help yourself get there, okay? It's not there to just, just magically sit on the table and you looking at it doing nothing with it, all right? It's there so you can pick it up and do something with it. So it's giving me this very, very basic example of making a meal. So you need to cook for yourself and for your family. So what do you got to do? Well, first you got to go get the food. So you can either grow the food yourself, all right? But in this modern day and age, a lot of us go to the store, go to the farmer's market, get the produce that you need, get the food items that you need, and then you come home. You put them in the fridge, you put them in the pantry. If you just leave them in the fridge and the pantry, it's not really going to make a meal. It's just a bunch of ingredients existing on their own. Sure, you could eat, you could just eat the bell peppers, eat the bananas, eat the crunchy dry noodles without cooking them up or mixing them together, but it's not going to be that good. It's not going to be what you're envisioning you want yourself and your family to be eating for dinner tonight. So you got to go in there, you got to get the pots and the pans out, get the ingredients out, chop them up. You got to work your magic. You have to co-create with the divine of the vision they gave you for what it is that you want to eat for dinner, what you decided for yourself, you're going to make for yourself and your family, and you have to go cook it. You have to help it. It's not going to cook itself. And so the same thing can be applied to whatever it is that you've been praying for, whatever it is that you've been asking for. You have certain things that are available to you now that are going to help you align with what it is that you've been asking for. It may not bring it in tomorrow. It may not bring it in the next day. But as long as you get started connecting with it, pursuing it, recognizing that it somehow in some small little way already exists in your reality, and you start to nurture and nourish it, it's eventually going to grow and grow and grow into a beautiful, delicious meal that you get to connect with and enjoy and feel good about. You get to transmute your feelings about it. You no longer feel angry and upset that the vegetables are just sitting in the fridge uncooked and you're just waiting for God and the universe to, you know, pop out a delicious, beautiful meal for you. You're realizing that, oh, I have what I need to, you know, make this first meal. Maybe it's not the gourmet chef meal that you're wanting to make, but it's a start. It's something that tastes a little good. It's edible. You didn't burn it. You didn't oversaturate it. And so you can learn. And then next time you make a better meal. Okay. And that's just an example, very, very basic example that we're using here. But this is going to be a slow process that you're going to be working through because you are working to transmute your emotional response to the challenges and the obstacles and the tasks, the energy that is required of you to call in that miracle healing that you've been praying for and asking for, and to align with the things that you've been asking for, that you've been hoping for and praying for, okay? And again, my pile 2 loves, I want to reiterate that this is about things that you have a sense of power and control over. This is not about those grander life events that we do not have a sense of say and power and control over, because I do feel for pile 2's reading, some of you may be going through heavier themes of situations and experiences that are connected to loss and grief. And so I do want to share with you all that the energy that we're talking about here, it's not connected to those things in such the strong light that I'm affirming here. Those are things, of course, that you're going to have to process and work through, and it does take time. Okay, but that is separate from what we're talking about here. Okay, and if that is something that you're experiencing here, pile 2, just because we have the heaven sent and the star here, and just, you know, some of the energy that's coming in, just know that my heart goes out to you. I too have gone through very, very heavy loss and grief myself, and I know it's not easy. And even so, on a personal level, not offering this as guidance, but on a personal level, some of the guidance that I have shared here in working to transmute that energy of pain and sadness and grief and anger into those more joyful experiences. It is a journey on its own. It does take time, but just know that even if you choose to start to transmute that energy into a more positive, uplifting perspective, it doesn't mean to say that you're doing a disservice to what it is that you have lost and what has been taken from this life. It just means that you're choosing to honor your own individual path and the lessons and experiences and memories that they gave to you in a new light. You're learning to grow and to exist with their gifts that they gave you when they were here in a different way, in a different light, okay? So yes, just know that. All right, I felt like that was meant to come through because that is very, very specific, my love. So thank you for letting me channel that and offer that guidance to you. But coming back around, this energy is going to be about things that you do have a sense of control over, such as the basic example of you know, making a meal in the kitchen, or work-life balance, or you know, the perspectives that you hold around dating, romance, and things like that, career, entrepreneurship, creative passions, and things like that, okay? All right, so let's see if anything else comes through here with the Ace of Coins and Two of Wands. Okay, so yeah, so I feel with the Ace of Coins and Two of Wands, the second month of the season, you are going to feel called to start taking physical action to materializing that physical miracle that we've been talking about. Okay, so there's something that's going to need your support to help materialize it. And so for some of you, I know I shared previously about you know, maybe you're looking for a new job, wanting to get a call back. There's something else around that. It wasn't just about a new job. I had said something else. Yeah, okay, but we'll just go with, if you're trying to get a new job, get a call back, this is going to be happening for you in the second month of the season. I'm specifically seeing around the 15th or 16th of the month, okay? Maybe even like, because this is the 14th card, so like 14th, 15th, 16th of the month. Okay, so like the middle of the month, you will be getting a call back that your application was accepted and they would like to move forward with you and this job. For others of you, this is going to be something that you're just going to have to be exerting a sense of physical effort towards manifesting. And I'm not getting a whole lot of examples, so it is going to be a little bit coded, but it is something that you will know you have to exert more energy towards making happen because of all the perspective shifts and the revelations, the miracle revelations, the miracle realizations that you received in the first month of the season. All right, you'll just realize the part that you played in your reality, or what it is that you've been praying for, what it is that you've been trying to call in, and you'll recognize what you have to do next to help yourself climb further up the ladder to actually receive the miracle manifestation of that physical thing that you're trying to call into your life. Okay, all right, I feel like we should leave that King of Cups out. But we'll put it back in. We'll see if he wants to come out and play again. Alright, so we are going to tap in and see what we can expect to experience in the third month of this season now. Alright, so what does pile 3 need to know for the third month? Get one more. Okay, I was gonna just take one, but you're getting 2. Okay, so you got a lot for the third month. So we have the Sun, 19 with the Sun. We have the Ace of Swords, another Ace. Oh, we've got 6 the Lovers. We have the Hanged Man, 12. And we have the King of Wands, another King. Alright, so King of Cups didn't want to make an appearance, but we have the King of Wands. Alright, so we are moved on from our emotional transmutation energy by this third month, and we are now rooted in the awareness of what it is that you need to do, what part that you play in helping yourself climb up that ladder. Alright, you now know. The sun is shining on you once again. All right, so I know pile 2, you have gone through a rough patch, and so over the course of the next 2 months, you're going to be coming into the realization of the part that you play in keeping yourself in that energy of defeat, keeping yourself in that energy of wanting, but never quite receiving what it is that you actually want. And you're recognizing that it's time to stop just, kind of sitting on the tools and resources and knowledge that you have, and to actually start applying your wisdom and your skills and your capabilities to co-creating with yourself and with the universe, with God, to receive the things that you actually want to receive, or to align with what it is that you've been praying and hoping and wishing for. And so come the third month, you're finally going to be out of that painful, sad, angry energy, and the sun is going to be shining on you once again, and you're just going to feel this reprieve of love and light energy washing over you once again. Now, again, Spirit's coming in and they're saying, it doesn't mean that life is going to be without obstacle, without struggle. It's going to be this, there's going to be this need for you to constantly remind yourself of how far you have come, and to just recognize that when challenges and obstacles do arise, it doesn't mean that it's the end of the world. It doesn't mean that you have to hang your head low and hang back and lay in your sadness and anger all day. It just means it's an emotion that wants to be felt, that wants to be transmuted, wants to be acknowledged, then wants to be transmuted. It just wants to flow, okay? It doesn't want to linger. It just wants to flow. But you're also recognizing that you have this sense of a mental and physical control over those emotions, and you can transmute that energy into something beautiful, into something that actually supports you, into something that actually feels good to you and for you. You're no longer allowing it to have power over you. You're just recognizing it for what it wants to teach you, what it wants to show you, and then you're taking the reins, you're taking the sword in your hand, and you're slaying those heavier, negative, painful emotions, perspectives with your blade, and you're transmuting it into something that feels more freeing, that feels more in this energy of love and alignment. And so this sense of freedom, this sense of renewal, this sense of miracle healing is finally washing over you. I'm hearing this energy of like maybe getting a baptism. So some of you may be getting baptized, or maybe you're attending a baptismal and you just feel inspired to also do that for yourself. Okay. And some of you could just be doing this very naturally, organically with yourself. Maybe you haven't been to a natural water source in a long time, and the third month of the season you travel to a natural water source like a river or the ocean, and you decide to just baptize yourself. You maybe you affirm to yourself that you're letting the past be in the past. You're no longer going to be wishing and hoping and praying for God, universe to come and save you. You're recognizing that you have this sense of power and connection with God, universe, to be able to save yourself in a lot of ways that you could have in the past if you had the revelations and the knowledge and the wisdom that you have now. It's not to say that you didn't have it then. It's just that you were going through a process that you had to go through to come upon the awareness that you have now in the third month of the season. And so you're just kind of like going through this energy of affirming to yourself that you're no longer going to allow yourself to fall back into those spaces of defeat. And so you maybe like kind of wash that away on yourself and do a personal baptism with yourself in a natural water source. And then for some of you, you may have more of a quote unquote official baptism with a specific individual that offers those services and experiences. Okay. All right, so let's see if anything else comes up here. I'm really drawn, I don't see the number 13, but I'm just hearing the number 13. So 13 could be significant to you. Maybe somebody's turning 13, like a celebration of a child, transitioning into their teenage years. Maybe 13 days, maybe the 13th of the third month is going to be significant to somebody. Something magical happening on the 13th day. Could it be Friday the 13th? It might be Friday the 13th. If you're watching this as I'm filming this in June, July, August, September, we might have a Friday the 13th in September. If I remember correctly. I could be wrong. It could be a different month. It might be November, but 13th is going to be significant. All right. I want to say this is Horus. All right. So Horus could be significant to somebody, maybe an ancestral guide, a deity that you work with. And then we also have this Beauty and the Beast representation here as well. And then this beauty individual has like very like elf-like features, so maybe some cosplay going on there as well, or maybe you're just drawn to like elven magic or like lore, the lore of elves. All right, loves. Oh, and we saw Phoenix rising there. I love that. This is totally you, pile 2. You are going through a Phoenix rising right now. You are going to be reborn from the ashes that you've been laying in, and you're going to come out in all your shining glory. All your shining glory for others to see just how far you've come and how much energy you've transmuted and had to work through and overcome. And it's not going to get you down again. You've gone through a beautiful, beautiful healing journey. And even though it was not without immense challenge, you are overcoming those challenges and recognizing the blessings that they were. All right, love. So we are going to pull some oracle cards now and just get some last messages of new guidance to help you throughout the next 3 months. And then we'll pull a couple more oracle cards and we will tie up your reading. So let's see. Can we get some new guidance, new insight for pile 2? What else do they need to know for the course of the next season, the course of the next 3 months? All right, so let's see what we have here. Oh, look at that. We have 8 abundance. Yes, you have nothing to worry about. The energy of abundance activates your ability to manifest the wealth you need and the sense of fulfillment that comes from a heart and soul that are overflowing with love and gratitude. Yes, this is also the number of karmic return. And so what's owed to you will be delivered. We also have 1, first chakra. The energy of the root chakra supports your sense of safety in a physical world and reminds you to enjoy your physical bodies. And look at all this red. I know I said red was the sacral chakra. That is actually orange. So red also with the root chakra, this is about grounding into your own energy, into your divine blueprint, into your divine wisdom, very much a Hierophant coded energy there. And so over the course of the next 3 months, you are being guided to really ground into your energy and to spend more time connecting with physical abundance. So what is physical abundance? What is the first form of physical abundance in our current reality? That is the earth itself, trees, natural growing wildflowers, rocks, mountain formations. All of these things exist in abundance, and they do not need to be told to grow and to flourish into the natural abundant state that they grow into every year. They just do what they are meant to do, what they were designed to do, and they are naturally abundant. So go outside every single day, connect with a tree, touch a tree, hug a tree, feel its leaves, ask the tree if you can take a few of its leaves or flowers or fruit or natural medicine that it is offering to you. Ask it if you can take a little bit of it and just connect with that natural form of abundance, and that will naturally allow you to see where abundance is already present in your life, already present in your reality. And this will also naturally help you to ground into the truth of where you have abundance, of what it is you've been asking for that you think you don't have, and how it does already exist in your present life. Okay, look at that. 13. I kept saying 13, 13, 13. Commitment. The frequency of commitment supports your ability to devote yourself in all aspects of your being and with unwavering belief. Yes, be committed to yourself. Be committed to what it is that you've asked for and prayed for, but not just through, wishful thinking and hope and prayer. Also remember that you have this commitment to be able to materialize it in some way. That's the word. I was like, what's the word? You also have this ability to materialize it in some way. You are naturally also abundant. You are of the earth. You are nature. And so you are also a naturally abundant being. Think about it. How many organs exist in your body? How many senses do you have? How much blood is running through your veins? Okay, these are all natural forms of abundance. How much breath, oxygen do you breathe in every day that keeps you alive, keeps you connected to this realm? An abundance of it. Every single day you are receiving abundance and physical support in some way, shape, or form. Are you able to slow down and bring your awareness to this truth and to recognize that you have not gone without and you will not go without? Even though you may have felt as though you didn't have the things you wanted, you felt as though you didn't have the things you thought you needed or the things that you just truly desired, doesn't mean that they weren't and aren't always available to you and don't already exist in your life in some way, shape, or form. All right, loves, let's go ahead and pull your final cards now. So we are going to pull an animal guide for you. So what is pile 2's animal guide? Ooh, we have the trout and lily of the valley with purification. Maybe cats are also significant to you. But purification, I was amazed when I saw purification, because this is also in alignment with the messages around baptism. And so you are definitely having your energy, your perspective, your mindset, and your emotions purified and transmuted and transformed throughout the course of the next 2 months. And then the 3rd month, you will start to see the results of the purification, of the transmutation that you have been working through, that you have been mentally and consciously attuned to and coming into the revelations of. All right, loves. And so I'm also feeling, with all of these confirmations coming up with 13 purification baptism, the universe is also going to be communicating with you so strongly through signs and synchronicities. So pay attention. Bring your focus to the present moment. Okay, that is a very important message for you, Pile 2. Bring your attention to the present moment. You've been existing in your mind for so long and just going through these motions of recognizing or just not paying attention to what's available to you, and just wanting things that, are not currently available to you in a physical sense. You're just so focused on the lack, which removes your focus from the present. And so we really want to bring your focus back to the present moment, so you can recognize that you have not gone without, and that you do have abundance, you do have support, you do have confirmation and affirmation already existing in your life every single day. So bring your focus back to the present moment. And my love, something coming up, I'm very guilty of this. It's our darn phones, scrolling on the phones, always looking at what other people have, and thinking that, you can't have it. Well, you can't have it because you're always looking at your phone and not looking at what's already available in your life. And in so many ways, you probably already have all those things that you've been looking at your phone, or you already have so many possibilities and potential ways that you can get to those things if you just get your head out of your phone. All right, so come back to the present moment and recognize where the things you already desire already exist in your life, and how you can grow those things, how you can nurture and nourish and provide more love and care and attention to how it's already available into your life, into growing into what it is you've actually been trying to call into your life. It's already available to you, and it's through the purification and the transmutation of your emotional response and your mental perspective around these things that you're going to be able to come into those deeper revelations, and then actually call in those physical miracles that you have been praying to receive. All right, loves. So that is it for your 3-month forecast today, Pile 2. I thank you so much for tuning in and allowing me to deliver these messages of guidance to you. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up and comment down below. Let me know what it is that you've been calling in, or, let's bring our focus back to the present moment. Let me know what it is that you're grateful for that already exists in your present life. All right, loves, I thank you so much once again. I'm sending you so much love and wishing you a beautiful, blessed new season. Until next time, bye, love. Hello, love. Welcome into your reading if you chose Pile 3. So if you chose Pile 3, you selected the card 14, Going Beyond Normal. We love this. So this is I'm definitely feeling Aquarian vibes, which is all about the energy of originality. It doesn't mean that you're an Aquarius, but we are in the age of Aquarius, and we are still very much in the beginning stages of the age of Aquarius. We've been in this era for, oh goodness, when did we enter into it? I want to say 2018, but don't hold me to it. We could be a little bit later, like 2020, but we are just a few years in, and this is something that we're going to be in for the next era. So yes, this is very much presenting this energy of creating new ideas, original ideas, things that have not been thought of before, and creating new inventions that are going to propel humanity forward in some way, shape, or form. Okay, so this has like a grandiose energy aspect to it. All right, but let's go ahead and pull your tarot cards to get some deeper insight on what it is that you can expect to experience and be working throughout the next 3 months of this new season that we are entering into. Okay, love, so I am going to pull your tarot cards first from the Tarot of the Divine, just to get an overview of what it is that you can expect to be experiencing and working throughout the course of these next 3 months. And then we'll go deeper and we'll pull an individual spread for each month. So month 1, then we'll do month 2 and month 3. So let's see, what does pile 3 need to know overall for the course of these next 3 months? All right, so let's see what we have here. All right, so we have 7 of Cups. 7 of Cups, making a choice. We have King of Coins. All right, get that money, get that abundance. We've got Page of Wands. We have 20, Judgment. And we also have the 2 of Coins. All right, so let's see what's going on here. All right, so my loves, what I'm seeing here ultimately is that over the course of the next 3 months, you may be battling with this energy of indecision a bit, because we have the 7 of Cups and the 2 of Coins here. So I'm seeing that you have a lot of potential paths and opportunities that are going to be available to you. And specifically, I feel that it's all going to exist around just like 1 or 2 ideas. Or, okay, or, you know, so spirits, they're showing me 2 different things. This is like the energy that you're going to be in, really, is like, oh, it could be this, but, or it could be this, or it could be that. Okay, so what I'm seeing is, for some of you, you're going to have 1 or 2 specific ideas of what it is that you want to pursue, but the path to get there, or the path to creating it, or inventing these ideas, or these paths of pursuit are just so many. Okay, and then for others of you, you feel as though you have so many different paths that you could possibly pursue that you just don't know which one. And I mean, that's life, right? Like, we could do so many different things in life. How will we ever choose? But what Spirit wants you to know is that deep down within, okay, get out of your mind into your heart space, you know which one path you want to pursue right now in this moment. And so this is almost bringing up this energy of life purpose and soul path. There is something that you were born with. There was a knowing that you were born with. And maybe you didn't come into the knowing or the consciousness of what your soul was meant to pursue, meant to create, you know, when you were a teeny little baby, but somewhere along the line, your inner child came into the knowing that you were meant to pursue something. There was something that you were meant to create, or something you were meant to explore and learn more about and share with others. And maybe along the way, your path pivoted a bit. Maybe you got away from that dream, you got away from that knowing, or you went through a series of different life events and experiences that took you away from that path. But at the end of each day, at the end of each year, in your, you know, periods of reflection, you always come back again and again to this knowing that you were born with a life purpose. You were born with something that your soul just knows it is meant to pursue, it is meant to connect with, it is meant to create, it is meant to explore and learn more about. And so even though it seems like you have so many different choices for what it is that you know, which path you want to go down, at the end of the day, there's only one that will truly offer you the sense of connection, the sense of love, the sense of abundance and accomplishment and success that you've been seeking in all these other paths, all these other places, okay? So the other thing that's coming in too is that over the course of the next 3 months, you may be coming upon this energy of a culmination of energies. And so what I mean by that is Spirit's saying that maybe somewhere along the path, you kept getting pivoted, or you kept trying new things, because, XYZ, you just felt as though you couldn't pursue, which your soul knows you're meant to be pursuing, because maybe you felt that it would not be successful, it would not be supportive, so you kept trying all these different things. Or, like I said before, you went through a series of life events, life experiences that steered you off the path, and even though they steered you off the path, they steered you off the path because it was experience, it was knowledge, it was wisdom. It was like you were collecting little gold nuggets along the way that can now come to a culmination and be applied to you actually aligning with and pursuing your soul path's destiny. Okay, so an example I'm going to give here is, for some of you, maybe in some way, shape, or form, your soul's path is to pursue the path of an artist. And a lot of the times in our current society, we have these false perceptions that, if you're an artist, you're XYZ, you're going to starve, you're not going to make it, you're not going to be successful. But we also know in this modern day and age, there are so many successful artists out there. And so that's not true. It's just subconscious beliefs that you're holding on to. And so even though you've always known you've meant to be on the artist path, but you convinced yourself, maybe latching onto societal excuses, parental conditioning, whatever it is, you decided to go out and explore all these different paths that were not connected to the arts in any way, or they were connected to the arts in some way, but it wasn't the specific art path that you wanted to be pursuing. And so now you're coming to this culmination of realizing that you want to pursue this specific artistic path, okay? And you're realizing that all those pivots of those other paths that weren't exactly what you wanted to be doing can now be applied to what it is that you want to be doing. So maybe you want to write about those experiences, or you want to create art based on those experiences, or maybe you want to even move into a leadership role of teaching other artists the experiences that you have and how it can be applied to different forms and medias of art. Okay, maybe you're wanting to create a play based on different experiences that you had in those different lives that you've lived, and just so on and so forth. And something like that. Okay, so it's all coming to this culmination phase where you're recognizing that those choices, those paths that you went down, it wasn't exactly what you wanted to be pursuing, but it gave you material for the path that you're meant to be pursuing, that you're meant to be connecting with. Okay, another thing over the next 3 months is what I shared about with those societal parental conditioned beliefs that are preventing you from pursuing this path. The judgments, the choices, the juggling, all right? So I'm getting so many different messages here for you, Pile 3. So over the course of the next 3 months, you're definitely going to be going down subconscious lane, all right? Working to dismantle any subconscious beliefs that you've been holding on to around, subconscious beliefs that you've been holding on to that are preventing you from pursuing the path that you're meant to be pursuing, all right? From pursuing your soul's path, from pursuing your soul's destiny. It's time to clear out the sludge, clear out those false beliefs, clear out those things that are not true. They're just beliefs. It's just energy that's holding you back. It's just an excuse, all right? It's just an excuse. Call it what it is. It's just an excuse. All right, we live in a modern day age of technology and so much opportunity that our ancestors did not have. You can literally create money and abundance out of nothing in this digital era. And even if the tech era, the means of tech is not something that you truly want to be connecting with, it doesn't mean you have to fully take that route, but you can use it as a tool to your advantage to help you gain success in whatever it is that you're wanting to pursue in some way, shape, or form. Okay, and that's going to be a very specific message for some of you. It may not apply to everyone because that may not be a path that you want to pursue with what it is that you're feeling called to pursue. All right, the other thing is with the Two of Coins is having to juggle things. So for some of you, you may be coming into the realization and revelation around that, the path that you've been on or the multiple paths that you've been pursuing are not in alignment with what you actually want to be doing. And so you may be having to kind of balance both acts temporarily, going back to the artist perception. This is also going to be a subconscious belief, but it's like around this energy of like, oh, let me maintain a stable, steady job until I make it as an artist. And Spirit's saying it's not so much about that energy. It's just about you realizing that you've been holding on to that quote unquote stable, steady job, but you haven't been pursuing the path that you actually want to be pursuing. So as you start to dip into the path that you actually want to be pursuing, you'll eventually be letting go of that quote unquote stable, steady job. You can't maintain the balance of both for forever. All right. At some point, you're going to have to fully jump in because this is your soul's destiny in some way. All right. This is a heavy reading here. These are like really heavy, strong readings. We've got some big energy that we're going to be working through over the course of the next 3 months. But over here, we don't play around. We want to align with our soul's destiny. We don't want to live a half-assed life. We want to live a full life, the full life that we are meant to be living, pursuing, and connecting with. And, you want to get paid for it. You want to get supported for it. And you will. You will. But the first step to that process is you supporting yourself in it mentally, emotionally, and physically, believing that it's possible. And so that's going to come through you doing that deeper subconscious work, and then the balancing act of starting to dip your toes into what it is that you're meant to be dipping your toes into, calling back and aligning yourself back with your soul's path, with your life purpose. All right, so I didn't say, but we are now pulling cards to see what's going to, what you can expect to experience in the first month of this season. All right, so month 1, we have 2, the High Priestess. Let's get one more card. There we go. All right, so we have the High Priestess. We have the 5 of Coins. And we have 21, the World. All right, so this first month, things may be a little bit challenging when it comes to your finances and physical aspect, all right? It doesn't mean that you're going to go without because we have the King of Wands here, but it does mean that you're going to have to play that balancing game for a bit, okay? It feels as though you can't quite fully leap in to your soul's calling with like this sense of assured physical stability, or specifically financial stability. But we do have the King of Coins here. So if you have a little bit saved up, if you have the means, by all means, and your intuition is guiding you to, you can make a clean break and create that sense of closure. I just feel with the 5 of Coins here, it's going to be different for everyone. If you don't have that safety net to fall back on, you're going to want to really tune in and listen to your intuition, listen to your gut of playing the balancing act until you do have a little bit of a soft cushion when it comes to your finances. Now, for most of you, though, the 5 of Coins aspect is just going to be the sense of worry. It's just going to be the judgment of the subconscious beliefs that you're going to have to work through, where even though you have the physical proof that you have this bit of a safety net, you have things saved up, and you have the skills, the resources, the wisdom, the intuition guiding you to the knowing that you will be safe, that you will be held as you start to pursue this path. That is your destiny calling you. That is your life purpose. That is something that you've known you were meant to pursue since you were a little baby, since you were a child. Your inner child's calling you towards this path. It's just worry that's connected to those subconscious beliefs that you're going to have to be working through and clearing out, okay? But it's going to be a little different for everyone, and you'll know in your intuition because you're very wise and you're very intuitively connected, and you're also like very grounded in your energy, okay? So you know, like you're very aware that you need that safety net. You're not somebody who's just going to leap without the sense of a safety net. So intuitively you'll know. It's just you may have those subconscious beliefs of worry kind of weighing on you, telling you yeah, maybe I should wait a little bit, maybe I should save a little bit more, but you'll already know that you already have that safety net versus if you don't, okay? So you'll know. All right, so shifting a little bit here with the World card, I do feel that for some of you, and paired with the Five of Coins, for some of you, you may actually be let go from a job. I hate to give news like that, but just the pairing here, and you may kind of intuitively feel that coming in for you. And so this clean break, or maybe not a clean break for some of you, it will provide you with the opportunity of those new paths that we talked about to open up. But deep down within, you're going to feel that whisper, you're going to feel that niggle that there is something that you have been wanting to pursue since you were very young. And maybe it's something that you did give a chance to, you gave a moment to, but then, you know, life experiences came in and you got turned away from them. But now that whisper is coming back. It's poking at you. It's telling you, hey, this is your chance. You know, you've got a little bit extra saved up. You no longer have the you know, you no longer have to worry about this job. You have all this free time now. So this is your chance to pursue it. This is your chance to give it a try. Okay, so for some of you, that could be something that you have to work through in the first month as well. This is like very direct energy here. Let's see if we can get one more card. 12, the Hanged Man. Spirit said no. Okay, and they're saying no because we have the High Priestess here. And so come the first month of the season, you're going to just be really intuitively guided. Even though you're very strong-headed and like very logical, that's the word, you're very logical, you're still also very connected to your intuition. And even though you, in some way, you've been dishonoring your intuition, it's more so because your life has just naturally pivoted. But now you're feeling this call so strongly to return to your true life's calling, to what you've always known you wanted to pursue, what you've always known you wanted to create and connect with and share with others, okay? And so intuitively you will be guided, and you'll also intuitively have the answers and the inner knowing as to why certain things are happening the way that they're happening, all right? With the World card too, you may also be traveling more, all right? So maybe you're going on an unexpected trip. We also have some like pairs here. I've never noticed that. There's little pairs there. So maybe traveling somewhere where pears are native, where they're like, the pear trees are like a native plant. Or you may be traveling to visit like a family member or a friend, or like staying with somebody who has pear trees in their backyard. So very specific message of confirmation for somebody there. Yeah, but travel is also coming up for the first month. For some of you too, I know I shared about like getting cut from a job, but for some of you too, you may be actually like traveling for work, and so maybe you're not actually being let go from a job, but maybe you're being relocated, and this may come as a bit of an inconvenience. Maybe it comes with a pay cut, because, or you know, maybe it affects your finances in some way. So maybe you are not getting a pay cut, but where you're being relocated to, finances, like the economy is more expensive, and so your finances will be a little bit tighter. Even though you're not getting a pay cut, it's like your expenses are going to go up, and so it will seem like you're getting a pay cut. And with that too, Spirit's saying, you know, if you're able to, maybe renegotiate a little bit or do a little bit of research before agreeing to any you know, final contractual obligations around you being relocated. But it does feel as though whatever decisions are made when it comes to your work, if you're working for another company or for a person, there's not going to be a lot of back and forth communication. It's like they're going to tell you this is what's happening, you either take it or you don't, okay? So just be mindful of that. All right, loves, so let's go ahead and see what's coming in for you in the second month of this next season. All right, so let's see. All right, so what does pile 3 need to know for the second month of the season? Okay, so we have the Six of Cups, and this card represents the inner child. All right, inner child, past energy. We also have the Seven of Wands, and then we have the Lovers with number 6, 2 sixes, framing that 7 there. And so yes, this is confirmation. 6 of Cups represents the inner child. This represents the past, okay? And actually, this is the first time Spirit's reminding me of this, but if you're watching this in lifetime when I'm filming this, I'm filming this on the solstice, the summer solstice, so in June. So the first month is going to be July, the second month is going to be August. July is actually, we're experiencing Mercury retrograde, and I think it's at the end of July, beginning of August, it's retrograde season. All right, we already have Pluto retrograde, Mercury's going retrograde in July. We'll be in its storm through the end of July, and then come August we're going to have, I believe, Jupiter, Neptune, and maybe one other planet going retrograde. So we are heavily entering retrograde season, July and August time frame. And so this is the energy of recalling past experiences, past relationships, past ideas, past inspirations. And so come August time frame, you're going to have that energy fresh in your mind. Spirit was really reminding me about Mercury retrograde. And so what they're saying around this is Mercury retrograde is happening throughout the majority of the month of July. And then we're closing out the shadow period, I think the last week of July. And so when Mercury goes retrograde, we have this recollection of things of past, all right? But generally we receive this guidance to not pursue those things that come up during the time that Mercury's in retrograde. It's something that you want to sit on. It's something that you want to reflect on. It may just be something that you want to bring healing towards, awareness towards, which you will be doing through that subconscious work that we talked about in the first month, and also with the Judgment card, the overview of your reading. But come August time frame, which is where we're at here with the second month, we will be out of Mercury retrograde. Yes, other planets will be in retrograde, but we will be out of Mercury retrograde. And so during that time, you will have a more definite sense, a more decisive ability to make decisions around whether or not those past memories, ideas, inspirations, relationships that were coming to mind in July are actually something that you want to pursue and move forward with. And just with your cards here alone and the messages that we've been getting in your reading overall about a past pursuit, a past passion, a past dream of yours, an inner child dream of yours that you've been wanting to pursue your whole life, that you just kind of got pivoted away from, that you know, maybe you had subconscious beliefs around, conditionings around as to why you couldn't pursue it, excuses you were making up for yourself as to why you couldn't pursue it. Now come August time frame, you will have this definite, decisive answer that it is time for you to pursue this. The love, the passion in your heart will be flooding forth 100%. You won't be able to turn away from it, and it's something that you're going to finally be starting to lay the groundwork for. You'll be starting to build the foundation for it. You won't be able to turn away from it. It's going to be so strong in your mind. You're going to recognize that all those subconscious beliefs, conditioned beliefs as to why you were telling yourself you could not pursue this were just excuses. They were just false beliefs. They were just somebody else's beliefs about this path. They were never something that you were meant to take on. And then you'll also recognize that if your life path, you know, pivoted a bit, you had all these other experiences, you realize that you were just collecting data, collecting little bits of information and experience for you to apply to, what it is that you are building now for yourself, so that you have a really strong the energy's flowing through. So now you have a really strong foundation for this dream, this life purpose, this destiny of yours to actually succeed and to infect yourself and others with the energy of love and passion that you feel for it all the same. All right, so the only symbol that I'm seeing on here that I'm feeling called to share is the little crow here. I think this is also like, this kind of reminds me of the story of Hansel and Gretel, so that may be significant as well. I feel like that can be applied to the energy of like your other life experiences kind of leaving you little breadcrumbs. You know, your life pivoted a bit because they were little breadcrumbs that you're meant to collect to guide you back home to yourself and what you actually want to be pursuing, what's your inner child. Your inner child left those breadcrumbs for you to find your way back home to your inner child's dream, to your soul's true dream, true destiny of what's actually going to return you to the energy of love within and without. All right, so let's go ahead and see what is expected for you in the third month of the season. All right, so let's see. Just pile 3 need to know for their third month. Oh, you got 2 cards, so let's see. All right, so we have 4 of Cups. We've got the 5 of Wands. We have the Hierophant. This card came out in every single reading today. And we have the 3 of Wands. The 3 of Wands came out in pile 2's reading as well. All right, so what I'm seeing here, pile 3 for the third month of the season, because you are pursuing something that is a long-held dream of yours, maybe something you've pursued in the past, it can be challenging to allow yourself to remain committed to this path because it's something that you feel as though has always been with you. However, it's not something that you have always been. It is something that you've always been taking steps towards, but it's not something that you've always been taking steps towards consciously. Okay? And so now, when you come upon these next couple months, the second, third month, you're going to start taking those conscious steps to actually materializing, to actually working with this dream of yours, this destiny of yours. And it's going to feel different than it feels when you're just thinking about it, when you're just dreaming about it. It's going to be different because you're actually taking your intuitive wisdom and truths, and applying it to something in the physical realm. Like you're actually materializing it, you're manifesting it, you're making it a reality in your life and no longer something that only exists in your heart and your mind. It's something that is becoming real. And with that, there will be new layers of these subconscious beliefs and judgments that you've been holding on to that you're going to have to work through. And as you come upon those subconscious beliefs that do not serve you and support you, there's going to be this pushback where you're going to kind of think, maybe I should just go back. I should just go back to that easy, stable, steady job because it's easier. I don't have to work through all this, conditioned beliefs. I don't have to work through this stuff that's, weighing me down, making me doubt myself, making me think I can't do this. All right, that's what this 4 of Cups is about. And so come the third month, you will be more committed to actualizing this dream of yours, to actually pursuing this destiny and life purpose of yours, but it is going to require you to work for it. All right, you haven't been working for it consciously. The universe has been working you towards it. They've been trying to guide you towards it, trying to get you to see that this is what you're meant to be doing, but it's not something that you've been actualizing. And now you're going to be actualizing it. And with that is going to come a whole new slew of stuff, energy that you have to work through on a physical, mental, and emotional level. Okay, the soul always knows. The soul will always know, all right? You will know that this is the path that you're meant to be pursuing, but there will be things that come up that you're going to have to work through mentally, energetically, emotionally, and physically. And so the 4 of Cups is here to remind you that you're going to have those struggles, and it's going to be so easy to say to yourself, well, why don't I just go back? It was so much easier, okay? But that's not how you climb to the top of the ladder of what it is that you actually want to be pursuing. That's not how you get this King of Coins energy. That's not how you feel satisfied and feel whole at the end of your life. When you're asking yourself, why didn't I pursue that dream, that inkling that was always calling me towards it? All right. And the Hierophant knows. The Hierophant is wise. They know that these challenges, these struggles, these obstacles that you're going to face in the third month, they are just mental and energetic and emotional blocks that need your attention and that need to be cleared out. Yes, it's easier to go back, but is it the right thing? Will it be easier in the long run? Or will you be put back in the same situation of wishing and hoping that you could pursue that long-held dream that your childhood self has always held on to? Fight for what you want. That's what the Five of Wands is all about. Fighting for what you actually want. All these easy choices are right here in front of her, but the one she actually wants, if she just turns around, she'll see that it's been available to her the whole time. And those easy choices are not going anywhere. They're still going to be there, really easy for you to latch on, for you to pick up, but it's not going to be satisfying. It's not going to be emotionally fulfilling. All right. And in the beginning, you choosing the path that will provide you with long-term emotional fulfillment, it may be a little bit emotionally grueling because, again, this is your first time consciously choosing to walk upon this path, and you have a whole lot of preconceived notions of conditioned beliefs and judgments from other people, from yourself, from society, that you have to work to clear out. All right, so just give yourself grace, give yourself time, and know that you will get through this. You will get through this, and you will come out of it all the more wiser and all the more emotionally fulfilled and satisfied in saying that you did it. You chose for yourself. You chose what would bring you joy. You chose the harder path that was guiding you towards your destiny of what it is you actually wanted to be connecting with and pursuing. All right, love. So we are going to pull some oracle cards just to get some new messages of guidance for what you may need to know over the course of the next 3 months. And then we'll pull an animal guide to close out your reading. All right, so let's see, what does pile 3 need to know? Any new guidance? All right, so we have 29 pomegranate. Dare to taste the unknown. Let it seduce your spirit awake. I love that. Mountain cabin, 27. There are times when solitude can be healing and enlightening. And then we have foraging, number 17. There is no better feeling than having gone after what you desire. Look at that. Look at these two. Dare to taste the unknown. Let it seduce your spirit awake. There's no better feeling than having gone after what you desire. Yes, I'm going to put these next to each other. Yes, so that is confirmation. It's time. It's time. What are you waiting for? Stop sleeping on yourself, pile 3. Stop sleeping on your childhood self. Some of you, something that may be very healing and inspiring is to do an inner child meditation. You can find some on YouTube. I'm sure there's some on the Calm app. You could even maybe channel and create one for yourself if you resonate with that message that I shared about being an artist. You know, maybe create your own meditation to connect with your inner child. That would be a great first prompt for some of you, if you're artists, to reconnect with your inner child and to just see how creative he or she is in helping to guide you back to the truth of what it is that you really want to be pursuing and connecting with in this lifetime. Okay. So with this mountain cabin here, this is bringing me back to the message around travel. And so in that first month reading, we had the World card come up, which was around cutting ties with something or something being redirected for you, but it's more like a telling you than an asking of you. And so with that comes this energy to really like go back and connect with yourself in a space of solitude. All right, so some of you may actually need to travel or to just spend time with yourself. So if you do lose a job or you lose a connection in your life in some way in that first month, take that free time for the gift that it is and spend time connecting with yourself and really reflecting on what the next steps are going to be for you. You will have a little bit of time to reflect. Okay, so this is confirmation spirit saying that you will have a little bit of time to reflect on what the next possible path is for you, because you will have so many options and choices. But of course, spirit and your intuition, your higher self, with that high priestess card that we saw in the first month, is going to work on guiding you back to the deepest inner truths of what your soul truly, truly, truly desires to pursue and connect with in this lifetime. You have a soul path, you have a soul destiny of something that you just know that your child self knew you were meant to be doing, something that you're meant to be connecting with, creating, pursuing and sharing with others in the world around you. Okay, and it's time to admit that to yourself, and it's time to gift yourself with the opportunity to actually pursue that path, because it is available to you now. It's always been available to you, but it's available to you now in a way that it has never been before. Okay. All right, so the other thing coming up with these two is we have 2 sevens, so also the 7 of cups there. So 7s could be significant to you. This may be a number that you're going to definitely be seeing over the course of the next few months. And Spirit was saying that this is confirmation for you. So if you see sequences of the number 7, just the number 7 alone, 77 or 777, this is confirmation for you that you are on the right path. Keep going. Don't give up on yourself. Don't go back to the easy path. Okay, choose for yourself. It's not always easy to choose ourselves. It is once you get comfortable with it, but in the initial stages of you choosing consciously, there's a learning curve to it. All right, just keep pushing, keep fighting for what it is that you truly want, and remind yourself to come back into these moments of solitude and reflection, and reminding yourself why you are choosing to pursue this quote-unquote more difficult path in the beginning, why you're choosing to dismantle all those subconscious beliefs around the truth of what it is that your soul knows you're meant to be pursuing, knows you're meant to be connecting with and exploring and learning more about. Okay. All right, so we have a lot of symbolism here. Pomegranates may be significant to you, may also be connected to the goddess Persephone or the god Hades. All right, we also have the apple here, so Adam and Eve's story may also be significant to you, also the goddess Lilith. All right, we also have the moth here. Wine, maybe you like to drink wine. Maybe you need to drink a glass of wine and unwind and just, you know, really connect with yourself. Let yourself just have a little fun. Maybe it's been a while since you've had a little fun. Not take things so seriously, and just kind of let loose a little bit. All right, just have a little fun. All right, so go do something fun. Okay, go do something fun this weekend. All right, as you're listening to this, you're saying go do something fun this weekend. Very specific message, but get out of your head, get out of your like, should I, which path, and just go do something fun just for the sake of having fun. All right, of course, be safe, you know, because we mentioned wine there. Of course, be safe, do something fun, but just do something that allows you to let loose a little and not focus so much about, you know, what's next. Come back to the present moment and do something just for yourself. All right, we also have the crows again, a lot of crows. We've got bunny rabbits, little mushrooms, fox medicine, stones. This is like a shaman stone here, so maybe you're finding a shaman stone, or maybe you're coming into the revelation or realization that you wanted to do some type of spiritual work or shamanic work, energetic work. Maybe that's your life purpose. We also have the fox medicine there again. All right, so let's go ahead and pull your last card now. We're going to see what your animal guide is. All right, so what is pile 3's animal guide? Wow, you have the bear and cedar with leadership, number 4. Yes. Okay, so I definitely feel that bear medicine is going to be a confirmation for some of you. I'm also getting mama bear energy, so for some of you, maybe you're coming into the realization, or father bear energy, that you know, part of your life purpose, your soul destiny is to be a mama or papa bear. All right, maybe you're wanting to step into your destiny of, you know, starting to create a family of your own. All right, leadership though is also coming up, where it's like you are meant to lead the way in some shape or form. It's also bringing back to the beginning message around the age of Aquarius, where you have this, why this message is so heavily rooted in this energy of soul destiny is because you are so unique. You have very beautiful original ideas that have not been thought of ever before. You have a very unique, creative way of thinking about things, seeing things, and creating things, okay? And like what you do has never been done before and will never be done or able to be replicated by anyone else in the same exact way that you do it. They can try, but it just won't be the same. And so this is your sign that you are meant to step up and start leading. Okay, stop being a follower. Stop believing in those judgments and doubts that followers have, because that's not who you are. At your core, you are meant to lead, and you have to start by leading your own life, leading your soul path towards fulfilling your destiny. All right, and I know that's heavy. I know that comes with a grandiose energy, but Spirit's coming in very strongly, and they're saying, stop playing around. Get this shit done. All right, do what you came here to do. Stop playing around. It's not easy. All right, you signed up for this. Your soul signed up for this. All right, you wouldn't be here during the age of Aquarius if you didn't, because we're at the precipice. We're already initiated into it, of an era change. We're changing over from the age of Pisces into the age of Aquarius, and that means we get to lay the foundational groundwork for what the age of Aquarius is going to become. And we have a choice, and you have very beautiful divine wisdom and creative prowess that you are meant to be sharing with the world and others around you, and guiding them to this energy of truth and of love and stability and connection with them, their individual selves, with community, and with the earth, the world around them, the environment that we live in. So take your moment of solitude and reflection to really come back and ground back into your energy. Keep working to dismantle those subconscious beliefs that were never yours to hold on to, and start getting to work. All right, work on what you're meant to be working on and creating. God, universe, spirit will provide. They will provide. You have the King of Coins here. You will be supported as long as you are being honest with yourself and consciously choosing to pursue the path that you've always known you are meant to pursue. All right, loves, that is it for your reading. I know it was a strong one, so I thank you so much for allowing me to tap in and deliver these messages of guidance to you, my loves. If you enjoyed this reading, please give this video a thumbs up. Let me know. Claim it. What is your life purpose? Share it in the comments below. I mean it. Share it below. What is your life purpose? It's time to stop denying yourself of this truth and to start affirming it. So let me know down below, what is the soul path that has been calling to you since you were young? What is it? It's time to affirm it. It's time to claim it and align with it. So let me know what it is so we can support you and encourage you to continue committing and connecting with this path. All right, loves, I'm wishing you a beautiful, blessed next 3 months and new season of life. Until next time, bye, love.